Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Totally sorry about that. Let's get back to sharing screen here. Oh my gosh. If anything, if anything, that was funny actually. Alrighty. Sorry about that. I got kicked out of my streaming platform, and here I am. I'm back. I just kind of got kicked out. I was testing my tablet to see if my pin was moving. To see if I had my Wacom tablet connected to the computer, and I looked up, and all of a sudden I'm out of the live stream. I was just out. Anyways, welcome to today's belated day 372 of 400 Days of Drawing. Today is going to be a twofer day where I'm going to do one day and I'm going to do the other day a little bit later, either really close to this one or later in the evening for me. I'm trying to play a little bit of catch up from yesterday. Anyways, I'll talk about that a little bit later when I'm actually drawing. So today is day 372 of 300 Days of Drawing. This is Pierson here. I hope you're doing well. I am the #1 live art streamer in the world, and we're gonna be doing a cactus drawing, right? And very simple stuff, man. Let's just start it. Let's just kind of start it. I'm gonna talk about the process. I'm gonna talk about why I missed yesterday, and then talk about the future for these live streams. Again, I'm changing it up again. Anyways, let's begin. Let's find this button here. There it is. Okay, so if you have any comments or questions, feel free to ask them. I will answer them after the live stream. I'm done with my drawing. I'm going to let's see. Yeah, I'll answer them. I'll keep an eye out. And let me find my workspace here, which is there we go. Got my workspace right here. Just going to put it off to the side. Just making sure I got everything in order before I begin my drawing. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to begin. I got to move my camera here and begin with a orange. We're going to use orange this time. There we go. So yesterday, my gosh, I dropped the ball. Like I worked late, and I got home. I got home and I don't want to draw. I sat down, and it was one of those things where I was like, you know, do I stay up and do my live stream, or do I just go to bed? And I was exhausted. I just decided to go to bed, and that doesn't always happen. As you know, I've done this for well over a year, but I was so tired. I just sat down and I was looking around. Here's something funny. I was playing a video game. No, it wasn't even a video game. It was like do you even consider games that you play on your iPhone video games? Are they even called that anymore, or are they just like apps? So I was playing with my apps. I was playing Clash of Clans, and I was sitting around and I was like, do I go to bed? Do I want to go to bed? And I really just kind of, I just decided to, yeah, I just decided to go to bed. And I didn't want to, but I really felt that I needed it, you know? And I said, I can make it up tomorrow. And I did. I'm making it up right now. And, but I wasn't really happy about it. It wasn't like I was um, happy that I decided to do that. I just said to myself, I think I needed a break, you know? And it's okay to have those breaks, especially because I'm going to make up for them. Like I'm going to make up for them today. Like it's just going to happen. I already know that I'm going to do 2 live streams today. because I have that available time, you know. But if I didn't have that available time, I probably would have said, let's stay home. Let's just bite the bullet and and then go to and then let's bite the bullet and then we'll go and we'll what would you call it? We'll gosh, I'm drawing a blank here. We'll work on it tomorrow, or we'll just go ahead and do the live stream. I mean, gosh, I'm drawing a blank. But I almost didn't do it. I obviously I didn't do it, but like I didn't want to do that, but I was just so tired. And you have that, we all have that experience where you're just so exhausted and you just want to have like a moment of like just calm, right? And that's what I wanted. I wanted a moment of calm, really. And so that's why I decided to not do my live stream. And I do regret it to some degree, but it was so nice. It was kind of like cathartic. It was kind of like therapeutic. Is cathartic the right word? I don't know. It was therapeutic in the sense that I don't have to worry about always doing my live streams on time. I kind of like these little new things I'm doing here. Um, I don't know if cathartic's the right word for that, but anyways, I am back and I'm going to do 2 live streams today. One to make up for yesterday, last night, and one for today. Now, I've been really thinking about this hard. I've been really thinking about this hard. Like I I had a few days. I wanted to do this is something I've been wanting to do for quite a while. I've been wanting to do like tutorials, but like the but let's see. Let me kind of rephrase this. I've been wanting to do tutorials for quite some time now, but I thought that I could do them via through live stream. And you know what? Once I once I did a few of them via live stream, I realized very quickly that I just didn't want it's not going to work in that fashion. It's just not going to work. I wanted to do it that way, but I don't think it's going to work like that, you know? So I decided to that I'm going to probably like do my own tutorials, but they're not going to be live, they're going to be videos. And I'm going to sit down and really plan out the dialogue and have everything in order. And perhaps maybe I might even give like small lectures, small little tidbit lectures after my live streams, kind of talking about my my what would you call it? My talking about the videos that I'm going to be working on. I this came with it came with like I don't know if I like this. We'll do something like this. There we go. We're going to change it up. There we go. I think I got that. Okay. So this became I decided to do that because after doing a couple days of like just very bad kind of tutorials, I've come to the conclusion that even though I'm stumbling and fumbling my words, that I I'm just not I'm not prepared to do those live streams at this point. It's just not in my bag. I don't think it's going to work out right now. but perhaps in the future. The only ones that really worked out were my perspective ones. That one was pretty decent. It was not great, but it was decent because I've done it enough in class, and it's perspective is very like how to. It's very step by step. So I'm able to articulate those a little bit better. But for others, I wasn't, and I tried to bite off more than I could chew. And so we're going to have another reformulation of my live streams, and I think what it's going to be me going back to what I was originally doing, but changing the format a little bit, changing the length. Um, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have one day where I work on cactuses, and 3 days where I work on the where I work on what would you call it? 3 days where I work on some portraits, some unfinished work that I never got finished. And so there's going to be some actual work being involved. I don't know where the days that I can work on my Pokemon, but I think I'm going to work on my portraits. They've been long overdue. They were projects that I never finished, and I've decided that I want to finish them. And some of them are almost done, you know. So some of them are almost done, which is oops, which is a good thing. And then they're going to be I'm going to be doing those, and then I'm going to have one day where I work on cactuses. So I think 3 days is going to be gesture drawings, figure drawings, actually longer figure drawings up to like 3 or 4 minutes. And then the 3 days where I work on some old portrait drawings that I'd never finished. And then one day a week where I work on a cactus drawing like this. And sometimes I'll have a cactus drawing, 2 cactuses a week, depending on like on circumstances. So like today, if I miss a day, drawing a cactus has always been like my go-to shape or drawing to do because I'm able to kind of just get one done. You know, they're easy to do, and if I'm in a bind for time, I usually kind of just go ahead and do a cactus simply because it's an easy thing to kind of recreate. I've done so many of them. This is going to be my 146th cactus, and I kind of know how to do them in this manner. You know, even though they change a little bit from time to time, um, but they still kind of stay the same, right? Ooh, look at that! I love that background. Whoa, that is a nice background. I love the scratchiness, the breaking up the shape. That's beautiful, man. Ooh wee! That's some beautiful scratchiness. I'm a painter, so by heart, I like broken up shapes. So beautiful. That's so that gets me. This gets me pumped, yo. I'm just so pumped. Woo. Anyways, I'm kind of ashamed that I'm not able to do the lessons, but I really think that I need to plan out the lessons. I need to know exactly what things I'm going to target and hit before I actually do any type of videos for them. And it's also a good thing that I'm probably going to be doing. I'm going to be doing these videos because um, it's gonna make me a better artist. Because if I can explain these things better, it just means I'm going to be a better artist in the end. The better I can explain things, the better I understand the thing that I'm talking about, you know? And we're going to press E here to erase that. There we go. We'll leave it like that. The better I understand the things that I'm talking about, you know? And so that's why I am not too upset over the fact that I'm going to be doing these. I think it's just a good thing to do. And I look forward to the experience of making these educational videos because I have some things I'd like to talk about, and I think it'd be a very informative learning experience for me. You know, I don't know if it's I don't know how I'm gonna be able to fit it in my time schedule. It's probably gonna have to be done like in 10-minute bursts where I like spend 10 minutes on it uh here and there. It's really gonna be a a challenging thing for me to do, and that's kind of exciting. I'm kind of excited about that idea that I'm going to be doing these videos, these little like educational videos, because I do know a little bit. Don't let the bad drawings fool you. I do have a little bit of knowledge to impart to the masses through my just like constant failure at drawing. I do know a little bit. I may not be the best at the things that I know, but I do know a little bit. I think one of my main skills, one of my good skills as an artist is my ability. Is like I think one of my better skills as a artist is probably my critiquing abilities. I've always been really good at kind of giving advice on critiques because I always like to look at other people's art and look at it in a different type of lens. I think that's always been one of my kind of skill sets, you know. And some people don't like being critiqued. Some people get kind of offended that you give critiques, like, "Oh man, my piece is perfect. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't have anything to learn." You know, my art is perfect. Blah blah blah. And no, I think everyone can always learn something new. You know, and just because you think that just because someone gives a critique doesn't mean that they're right. It's just when I go critique, it's mainly through the lens of suggestion. It's kind of like me just suggesting things, and you could take it or leave it. It's not like, oh, these. It's not like I was when I critique. It's not like I'm pointing out flaws in the person's artwork. It's more so I just like, what if you do go about it this way? I'm mainly just like giving out ideas on ways to think outside of what the other artist thinks in their work. Like they may be looking at their artwork through a certain lens, you know. And when I give her critiques, it's more so like, where can you go from here? Like, what can be done differently, you know? And that's how I typically go about my critiques. Um, I don't really have, I don't really like, I don't try to coerce anyone to like I don't really tell them like what's the better way of going about this or what's like my suggestions are law. No, it's more like, hey, maybe this might be a place you need to look into. This might be a drawing avenue that you could look into. It's not it's not the final solution, but it might be something you might think about pursuing, and that's okay. But I think in today's world, especially like in the artistic world, we always like to think that uh, uh, art is like this, like there's no rules, and there is no rules to art. You can whatever you claim art to be, you can kind of attach that to it. But like some people use that so much, a lot of artists will use oh, art has no rules, so I can do whatever I want to. They use that as that no rules excuse they use that no rules motto as like as an excuse to why they're not able to draw the figure, you know, or why they're not able to draw realistically. They always and it's really what it boils down is like, I don't feel like learning that type of thing. And that's fine, but you don't need to kind of hide under that excuse, that reasoning. You just say, "Hey, I'm not good at doing the figure." And it's fine. But the thing is, people today they get really like defensive about it. Like, if you don't want to be good at the figure, fine. That's more power to you. Like, it doesn't mean you're a bad artist. Just don't hide behind it and say, "Oh, I'm not good at the figure." But I don't know, and this is the reason why. Like, well, no, the reason why is you don't spend time working on it, and that's fine. But you got to understand that you don't want to hide behind that, because you're kind of like hiding in like a lie, I guess. I don't know. It's like when I was in college, there would be like conceptual artists who are more interested in the idea of the art than the actual creation of the art, and they would just like they're like talking in art theory. I'm like, this okay. If you're gonna be an artist, be an artist, but don't be an art theorist, right? You're just like talking about art ideas, but you're not even pursuing them. So like merely the idea of the art is is almost satisfactory to them. And okay, that's cool if that's what you want to be, but you can't. I mean, I guess you could sell the idea, but you have to be a really good salesman of salesman. That's a Rush song. But anyways, that's another completely different topic. You'd have all these students or who would basically hide under the fact that they couldn't draw. They couldn't draw, and they'd use this excuse like, "Oh, well, I'm a conceptual artist." But deep down inside, the way they said that as defense because they want to learn how to draw, but they don't. They said that as a defense, like that they would like to be able to draw, right? They would like to, um, but they don't want to put the effort to learn it. So that's really what it means. Is like when they say, "Oh, I'm this." Um, that it wasn't because it was like it was just the mannerisms that that a lot of the students would talk about their work. um it's okay that if you can't draw, right? And I'm not going to hold it against you, but don't use your conceptual art as a crutch, as an excuse. you know if you want to be a conceptual artist, good, but don't like use that as an excuse to why you can't draw. It's like, just say, "Hey, I don't want to learn how to draw." Fine. You know, be a conceptual artist. That's fine. I mean, you're not hurting my feelings. Just don't live in that kind of like this little lie. And that's what I feel like some of them would do is they would lie to themselves. It's like, this is why I can't draw, or this I can't draw because I'm a conceptual artist. It's like I say I'm a conceptual artist, and learning how to draw does not interest me. You know, so that way you don't sound defensive, and that's usually what happens. Is they usually go into like a defensive mode where they're trying to justify why they can't draw. Like, you don't need to justify to me why you can't draw. I'm not I'm not here passing judgment on you. Just like you can't draw, that's fine. It's just like there's a lot of artists that can't draw and they do really well. You know, I've known some like graphic designers who can't draw at all. But you don't have to be great at drawing to be a graphic designer. Back in the day, you had to be pretty good. Like, in order to be a graphic designer back in the day, you had to have a lot of skills. You had to be super clean. You had to learn how to render your ideas out on paper. Now you don't have to have any of that. You just have to have like a really intense knowledge of the programs that you're using for your company. You know, and even that, you don't even need that anymore. You could just like use all this freeware online. There's like Canva, there's Placeit, there's some other ones I don't know about, but there's a lot of free like programs that allow you to do pretty decent graphic design, and you don't have to have like expensive hardware, or is it software. you know so you don't have to be a good drawer or a good draftsman or good at rendering to be a designer. you know Now, caveat, it doesn't hurt to be good at those things. It does not hurt to be good at drawing if you want to be a designer or an artist. It's just what it means is you're able to express ideas better, or you're able to portray some ideas probably a little easier to your audience because you're able to render them or draw them out. I imagine if you can't draw, it's hard to express, like, kind of express your ideas to certain people, and that's okay. I'm not criticizing. It is what it is. But anyways, I'm really excited about this new format. Again, just like I was excited about the last one, but the last one was a train wreck. I learned a lot through that. I learned that if I want to do those those type of live streams, that I would have to treat it like a radio show, or like an actual, like, if I would have to treat it like as if I was a professional, a full-time podcaster, a full-time live streamer. Meaning that, like, in the morning, I would literally have to spend a fair portion of my day um, planning, writing, and scripting out everything I needed to talk about for the stream. And once I realized that, it became very obvious to me that I couldn't do something like that because of the time constraints. I don't have that kind of freedom to sit down and do a kind of like a podcast live stream. I only have a certain amount of time in a day to kind of do these things, you know, and so I decided I made a decision to um to go ahead and do a yeah, I made the decision to not do that. To do something kind of similar. Um, but after doing a few live sessions where I was let's be honest, I was kind of bombing on all of them. I realized that I can't do this unless I have ample amount of, like, hours to plan, come up with to have examples ready for the live stream, not just do the examples live. I would have to have time to plan, create examples, and have a script available for the the actual live stream, so I have something to kind of work with. Um, I can't do it. I can't. There's no way that I would be able to do it with the time frames that I have available. And that's when I said to myself, you know what, we're just gonna have to shelf this idea for now, and we'll come back to it at a later date, and that's fine too. I think though, but I think though is I will be able to do more to kind of plan out live streams that are no, to plan out to make videos that are basically going to be tutorials. I believe I'll have the time to kind of slowly make tutorial videos. I just don't have the time to kind of to make to do live streams in that fashion. It's not feasible for me at this point, you know? And that's fine, right? That's an okay thing to have. But I'm really excited. I'm excited again about the possibility of doing these new live streams, because I'm going to get back to some old projects that I never was able to complete, and I think it'll be nice of me to kind of get back to those old projects, and so that's what I'm looking forward to, is getting back to old projects, and then we'll move from there. And that's the thing about these live streams. They're basically giant whips. They're giant works in progress. There is no like definitive format, and they change. I thought that I'd be able to kind of do some educational stuff. Now, perhaps I probably would be able to do them if it was like if I was doing traditional media. Like, I'm pretty good at doing that. I've done enough of lessons using charcoal and pencil that I could actually talk about them. But like when I'm going into digital media, there's just so many variables that I'm not familiar with. And I know it sounds like an excuse. I think the best way to get acquainted to those variables is to make videos about them and then become very familiar with certain things that I was noticing that I was kind of weak at. Like I'm familiar, but I'm not really like we're not like buddy buddy. So like a lot of these art terms and art things that apply really well on traditional media, I'm not super well versed in on digital. And everyone's like, I've heard a lot of artists say like you got to stop thinking of digital art like as if it's a completely different media. Well, it is. Like, and they act differently. Even the brushes that are supposed to kind of reenact like pencils, you know, pencils and charcoal do not act the same way. They just don't. You know, they look similar, but they don't act the same way. You know, like the charcoal brush, it kind of creates the texture of the brush, but creates the texture of charcoal. But the thing is, when charcoal is done on paper, it has some transparency. It doesn't just go on opaque. On a lot of these brushes, I find that it's like supposed to simulate charcoal. They look odd. They really do. They look like they don't fully it doesn't fully get there. Although they're getting better. You know, I'll admit it's getting better. But I think I'm gonna after I make these videos, I'll get a better understanding of what I need to kind of talk about if I were to do these live. Um, and also because I'm going to be making these videos, that means I'm going to have to follow an outline. I'm going to have to create a script. I'm going to have to create some prompts and some wording that I can apply towards my live streams if I feel so inclined to do a small little lecture or small little demo. Um, but right now I don't have that, and I was finding that I was having trouble finding words regarding my live streams, regarding just in general, just regarding art. Like I'm always whoa, whoops, whiskers, right? And there we go. Now we're gonna lock that. Now, one last thing. This is something I've been thinking about doing lately, and I'm gonna try it out. Let's see here. We're gonna find the brush. I'm gonna find something. We're gonna go right here. Um, and it's gonna be. Let's go find some brushes here. Let's see here. It's. I'm looking for. I guess I won't use them right now. I guess I'll use. What's this? We'll zoom out. We'll get like. See what this does. I'm trying to see. Okay, I don't want that. I'm looking for certain things that kind of has a tooth to them. So we're gonna have we're gonna get something like this, and we're gonna go over it like that. And then we're gonna see what it looks like if I do some it's been a while since I've done something like this. All right, so something like that. Just kind of go over it and then do another layer and do another layer, but this time we're gonna do like a pink, and we're gonna go ahead and do a different type of vinyl. There we go. And then we're going to change the layer. So I'm not used to Photoshop's layers, like layer features. I'm so used to Photoshop's Sketchbook Pro's layer features, and they have the way their layers work. It works a little bit differently. And now what we're going to do is going to get an eraser, press E, press E, got to press E. Let's see here. Here. My brush isn't working. Why isn't it working? There we go. My goodness. Took me a while just to get that brush. Zoom out and it's kind of. Yeah, so something like that. We'll go to this thing and we're going to erase some of this stuff. And now let's go ahead and do another layer. So this is something I've been I used to do a lot, but I haven't done it in such a long time. I don't know what or would be good brushes. Normally I use rakes, and I can't seem to find all the rakes. It's like a they call them rake brushes. Maybe I'm gonna go look for one. We got runny inkers, we got splatters, we got here we go. I got some rakes. Kyle's rake, and what it does is it does something like this. It's yeah, so it does something like that. Oh yeah. And then you just get an eraser and yeah, do overlay and it's kind of erase some of the stuff there. And that way it kind of makes for a cool little interesting little like breakup of space. Okay, I think I'm done for now. I'm not gonna keep going at this because this can be this process is always for me has always been kind of like one of the things where I just kind of mess with it and it gets a little overboard. So I think I'm gonna call it a day, and maybe I'll apply this type of thing to my next one, to my next drawing. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna zoom right here. Gonna take press B. Oops, we're still on rakes. Oh my gosh, I thought I got the right color or right brush. Gonna zoom out. Where is the brush? Got too many brushes open right now. Where I saw it. I saw it. It's right here. I need to learn how to manage my brushes. What's going on? Oh my gosh, where's my brushes? I lost them. I exited out, reset. There we go. Why is it doing that? I don't know why it's doing that, but it's doing it. Let's see, what's this? Mixer brush tool, press B. There we go. For some odd reason, that's what happens often is like I don't know, like I find something. Let's use this brush. We're gonna find the opposite. We'll just sign right here. Alrighty. So let's go right here and kind of sign it right here. T. Oop, wrong brush too. I meant to press the ink round. That's what I wanted. So and why is it drawing it like this? Okay. It's kind of drawing it like transparent. Oh. How did I get the flow? I accidentally had the flow at like 22%. That's the thing about Photoshop is you press something and it automatically it you there's so many shortcuts and keys that it if you don't even know if you've hit a wrong key or a wrong like a sequence of buttons, and all of a sudden you're you're um you're wondering why your brush settings are weird. TMP, although that M is kind of messed up. Let's kind of go 22 at and that would be, what day is it? Let's just go let's do number 146. I believe it's number 146. Go. Day 3, 7, and 2. And that is it. That is, I am done. Not bad. I learned a little bit. I'm doing something a little bit different each time. So, anyways, that is it. That is day 372, and this is my 146th cactus of a possible 1,000. I don't know when I'm going to get those done. It appears like, well, if it keeps going like this, I'm going to be doing 52 a year. It's going to take me a couple years. All right, I think I'm done for the day. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you enjoyed today's live art stream. This is Pierson. I am the #1 live art streamer in the world, and I will be back for another cactus drawing a little bit later. I don't know how long. Maybe it could be an hour, it could be 2 hours, it could be 4 hours. But I'll be back to do another cactus drawing, and I must get going. I hope you have a wonderful day. Enjoy your Sunday. Cheers.